I'm just gonna go ahead and get things started up on my other platforms. Y'all start tapping the screen. Start tapping the screen. Y'all start tapping that screen. We'll go ahead and get some folks in here. Start tapping that screen so we can get some people in here. Get some conversations going. Once again, as I always say, if you disagree with what I have on the board, go ahead and come on up so we can have that conversation. I don't mind having a discussion with anybody. I appreciate you from wherever you're watching me from. Appreciate you for wherever you're watching me from. Thank you so much. What's going on, Indigo? How's it going? Place that there. Pin that comment. All right, cool. What's going on, y'all? Go ahead and tap that screen, tap that screen, tap that screen. Once again, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let me go ahead and start up my theme music. We're going to go ahead and start the theme music. We're going to go ahead and get Danner up here real quick. I'm going to start my theme music. We'll get Danner up here real quick. All right, Danner, give me a second, all right? Let me just let my theme music play for a little bit. Because I got some theme music, you know what I mean? I was on some villain shit, for real. Mm-hmm.
All right, you jam.
Uh-huh. Sometimes AI could do some cool shit, I ain't gonna lie.
Do you like the AI stuff?
Not always.
I think some of it's really good.
Yeah. Life's a different place. I don't know how I came up with this, but it did. Yeah, that's dope, ain't it? Mm-hmm. All right, let me stop playing that. All right, cool. I appreciate everybody who's here. We got our first guest up. Danner, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Yes and yes.
All right, great. Yeah, I think leftist policies are better for society. I do have some that I can explain, but let me know what you think about what you think I'm talking about and what those leftist policies are and why you disagree with them.
You know what? Honestly, I disagree with a lot of socialistic policies, a lot of healthcare, a lot of stuff like that. I wouldn't say it's necessarily better for society. I think it actually hampers society.
Okay, but we can, since you mentioned healthcare, let's go ahead and start off with that. How do you think universal healthcare would hamper society? Because as far as what I've seen, give me 1 second, please.
Call from
James Collins.
Hey, James, how's it going? Please hold for me. I'll be right back with you. All right, so yeah, when we take a look at other industrialized nations that have universal healthcare, nothing hampered them, right? So why would it hamper us?
Well, which one are you talking about specifically?
Well, I'm talking about like universal healthcare. Like if you look at,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, you're just breaking up. Okay, cool. You were just breaking up a little bit. All right, cool. So Danner, so when it comes to universal healthcare, right? When you took a look at like nations like, let's say, Germany, France, Italy, Japan, China, places like that, universal healthcare didn't hamper them at all. So it's like I always find it strange why we can't do the same thing here. We have the largest military, we're the wealthiest nation, the largest GDP per capita. Why can't we do it?
Well, essentially, we do it. We do have Medicaid and we do have Medicare. These are social programs, and if we look at them, they've been run into the ground. They're bankrupt. They run a deficit. We pay interest on that deficit every year.
I mean, the thing is the big issues with those programs is, number one, they're actually not universal, because Medicare, you have to be 65 or be disabled. Like I can't access Medicare, And Medicaid, it depends heavily on your state. Yeah, I mean, like in the state of Florida where I live at, I can't access Medicaid because I'm not disabled, I'm not a pregnant woman, and I'm not beneath 21. So it's those are not really universal systems, and those systems in themselves, like they're one of the issues that they have is a lot of middlemen. Like it doesn't get paid out straight from the government. At least Medicare does. And you look at the like the stats for Medicare, like how people are satisfied with it. A lot of people are very satisfied with their Medicare, which is why it's one of the things where it's very, very unpopular to try to change the system or cut it because people love their Medicare. You see what I mean? So it's one of those things where I would like to take that system and have us all access to it instead of just accessing it when you're 65.
Yeah, I understand they're satisfied with it, probably because that's not what they're paying to it, but people are paying into it with their Social Security. So you can say that something is not, general for the entire public, but we have basically the entire working class paying for a select few, and it's still not working.
No, Medicare works. Medicare works just fine.
It doesn't work if you look at the numbers. Why is it going bankrupt? Why does it need to be funded? Why are we borrowing for it?
Because hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right, great. All right, yeah. So one of the reasons why we keep spending on it is because of priorities. Really, we spend on other things like war. Yeah, I mean, when we should be servicing our Medicare budget. Medicare actually has been cut multiple times, and we have to keep servicing it or have to keep borrowing to serve it because they keep cutting it. Like it's not well funded. If we were to fund it completely, then we wouldn't have this issue.
Well, I understand that the funding gets used for other things, and it's not just war. If you actually look at war, that's a small percentage of the budget, which we can have that argument too, but that's kind of neither here nor there. But if you actually look at the large aspects of it, why are we going to trust the government with everybody's healthcare when they can't even run this particular set? I mean, they've already shown us that they can't manage a budget. I mean, the government can't afford a cup of coffee. They're $37 trillion in debt, and now we want to give them more power over our healthcare? Like, I don't really think so.
Well, everybody's in debt. Like it's like debt is not really a thing, right? We don't really owe anyone. When it comes to the Social Security and Medicare, however,
you owe the bonds. Otherwise, people aren't going to give you the money, and then it's not worth anything.
Right. No, I get that, which is why people are selling their bonds right now because of people are selling their bonds right now without the any Medicare issues. The thing is about what I'm trying to say about Medicare is that it does run well, right? It is run well. People are satisfied with it. It does get paid for. The only reason why it's not funded the way it's supposed to be funded is because it continues to get cut to fund other things.
Because it's growing too much. I mean, you look at something like the ACA. Did that make everybody's healthcare go up or down?
Depends on your state.
Made mine go up.
Right. It depends on your state. In some states where they expanded Medicaid, it went down.
But why did it go up?
Because they didn't expand Medicaid.
Well, they had a more influx of people, right?
No, it's because they didn't expand Medicaid.
Yes,
the states,
you're just saying you want to spend more money. You have to pull that from somewhere.
What I'm saying is that's
another government program.
What I'm saying is that the states that did not expand Medicaid did not see an increase in premiums, and the state that the states that did that expanded Medicaid did not see an increase in premiums. The state that did not, they did see an increase in premiums.
Yeah, but you're saying not enough people were jumping on to pay for it, right?
No,
the expansion.
No, what I'm saying is that if the states expanded Medicaid, they wouldn't have seen an increase in premiums.
But what do you mean by expanding in Medicaid? You're saying more people.
Yeah, expanding Medicaid meaning expanding people and those who qualify for it, etc.
Right. So you're just saying allocating more money to it from the taxpayer.
Yeah, that's
which is going to do what?
That's how all insurance works. Like the more people in it, the lower your premium.
Right.
So that's how all insurance works.
People didn't see that it was sufficient enough. People didn't see that it was sufficient enough for them. They wanted to stay with their private health care.
You're breaking up. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said obviously it wasn't sufficient enough for the people because they wanted to stay with private healthcare. That's what Obama wanted a penalty. But the Supreme Court, shut that down.
No, the penalty was for if you didn't have health care at all, which is actually a Republican idea. So I'm not sure why everybody was mad at him for doing that when the Republicans are the ones who came up with that. But when it comes to the system, the ACA, I didn't like the ACA, right? Because it was it was the insurance companies that actually wrote the ACA. If the ACA was written by actual like policymakers, they would have made it universal. Like universal healthcare, all it does is makes the government the insurer, right? Like you already do this with your own private insurance. You already do it. The only difference is that it's not for profit.
The government has to pay the insurer. The government has to pay the insurer because who's going to do it, right? The government has to hire a company to do it, right?
No. The government.
But you think the government just knows everything about the medical issues and stuff? That's how all this stuff gets done.
They just pay the bill. You don't need a middleman.
Right.
Right.
So how are they going to know what the bill is? Look at the ACA. How much money were
the way they know what the bill is? The hospital sends it to them, just like how they do with insurance.
Right. And if they know they're going to get paid, is the price going to go up or is it going to go down?
It depends.
The price is going to to go up.
Not necessarily.
And you know you're going to get paid.
Not necessarily, because why?
Yes,
why
let's look at the ACA.
Why are we paying? Why are we paying more here than other countries that have universal health care, including China? China has more people than us, so it can't be population.
Right. They get to be selective of who they get to take care of and who they don't.
No, they don't. It's universal over there.
Yes, they do. I've been there. That's
fine, but it's universal over there, is it not?
Yes, but they get to dictate what your life is worth. Okay,
no,
this is the beauty about freedom. Absolutely, they do. What are you talking about? They only have a one-child mandate.
That's been gone for 20 years, my guy. That was ended in 2001.
Yeah, I know, and they had it for what, 40?
They had it for like 40 years, and that was a mistake of a policy. They even admitted that, but it's been gone for 20 years.
You're trying to tell me that they're not putting a price on it. Anyway, let's look at the ACA. How much were the insurance companies allowed to make on the ACA?
You can make whatever you want. The ACA still exists, and they can still make however much they want.
That's not true. The ACA is allowed to make 14% on their product of costs. So it'd be more beneficial for them to be the prices to be higher or lower.
Hold on.
It would be more beneficial.
Well, you said that they can only make 14% on what?
On price, right? Like cost to price.
The cost price. They can only make 14%.
Right.
14% of what?
Make it if cost 14% of your cost.
All right. So 14% of the cost is what their profit is going to be on how much.
That's how much it could be. So they want it to be higher, right?
It should be zero.
Yeah, but that's not what it does. That's what happens when the government starts running your healthcare. The price is going to go up for everything.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Again, because the insurance, the reason why people think the prices are going to go up because you're thinking in a profit motive fashion. There is no profit to be made. Like the government doesn't run for profit.
Then why do it? Why would anybody do it? Why would anybody be a doctor?
You're still going to get paid.
Where's the incentive?
My friend, you think doctors in France don't get paid?
Of course they do.
Right.
Do you think they get paid more than
they have universal health care? So you're still going to get paid.
Why do you think a lot of the best doctors want to come to the United States?
The best doctors are from Cuba.
No, probably India, but
the best doctors are from Cuba. That's been looked into. The best doctors are from Marxist Cuba. Cuba.
Based off what category?
Based off basically their knowledge, their skills. Cuba sends doctors everywhere. Like they have the best doctors.
Okay, that didn't seem very provable. But anyway,
I mean, you can look it up right now. I can look it up right now. Cuba sends doctors everywhere.
I don't really care, but you can look it up if you want. But
right, cool. Well, what I'm trying to say is this: if there are countries that have universal health care and they're not paying as much as us, why would the prices go up here? We don't need a profit motive, right? And you can still be a doctor and get paid. I'm not seeing the issue here. Doctors in China get paid, doctors in France get paid, doctors in Japan get paid. They all have universal system, and they're still highly paid. Like doctors in these countries are some of the highest paid professions, just like it is over here. So it wouldn't change, which is why I'm always wondering, like, what's the issue here?
you're saying the government should incentivize doctors with bigger paychecks so that they could do their work there, and what? You're just saying that the government should just pay for them?
It's not going to be if you have a universal system, that doesn't mean that every single doctor works for the government. That's how the UK is, right? And that becomes problematic. Okay, what I'm saying is that if the government is the insurer, there are no insurance companies. There's no middleman. Now you can have insurance for luxuries like plastic surgery and stuff like that. You can do it for that. Or you can even have a dual system where there's private insurers and there's the government system. You can have that.
Great point. That's a great point you just made up. What's happened to all the plastic surgeries and LASIK surgery and all the things that aren't covered by insurance? Have they gone up or have they gone down?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Like when LASIK surgery came out, it used to be like $6,000. What is it now? Like $2,500 or $1,500 or whatever? It's because the free market makes things cheaper because they want it to apply to more citizens, more people buying.
Like hasn't LASIK surgery always been like $500 per eye?
No, it was like when it first came out, it was gnarly, way more expensive.
I remember when it first came out, it was like $500 per eye.
Anyway, the free market is what dictates a lower price, not the government. You'll never see the insurance go down. You may pay less up front because it's being subsidized, but you're going to pay for it in your taxes. But you could say these doctors are getting paid in China and France and whatever, but you also have to look at their tax rate. It's up to like 50% in some of these areas. So you're paying for it one way or another. And if you choose you don't want to take that risk and pay for it, you don't have that option. Am I not a free person? Can I not say I'm willing to take the risk? I don't want to pay for healthcare and keep my money?
Do you still pay for things that you don't have risk for?
What do you mean?
Schools.
Right. Cool.
So we don't opt out of those things, right? Because we all know that it's better for society that everybody knows how to read. Like we all know that, so we all pay for it. Same thing with the roads, right? So we all pay for it. So it's like there are things in society where we all know that if everyone has access to it, then that makes society better. Like having a society where it's a completely private school system, we know is going to screw us over because there's going to be people who can't afford it, and then we have a whole bunch of people who can't read the stop sign. It's not going to work out well.
There's no such thing as free, though, right?
Right, but I'm willing. All right.
So when it comes to
do a grant,
when it comes to no, I'm not willing to do that. When it comes to universal healthcare, right? There is no insurance premium. You're just paying the taxes. That's it. It all comes out of the taxes. So there's no premium here. Now you can have a public and a private system, right? Like I think they do that in Germany, but I think they're doing it in Singapore as well. But like what I'm saying is that they're under a universal system. There's no premium. It's all your taxes. We're already doing that now. We just can't access it. Open up Medicare for everybody. Why not?
Because it would break our country.
Because I don't want to. I don't want my taxes to go up. Your taxes won't go up?
I'm trying to understand what you're saying here. You said you yeah, hear me?
No, I don't want my taxes
can't hear
to
you,
go
man.
up. I don't want to pay for that.
Hold on. That's better, right, guys?
Yep, there you go. That's better.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, I really apologize, guys. I gotta get another mic. I apologize. All right. So when it comes to taxes, right? Here's how I view it. If my taxes are let's say how you said 50%, but I know the education system is ran well. I know that I won't go into medical debt. I know that the roads are fixed. I know I have high-speed rail everywhere. I know I have all these things that benefit our society that I can benefit from as well. My taxes are 50%. You got to look at the trade-off. Our taxes now, what is the trade-off for it?
The schools aren't great. The schools aren't great. The public health system's not great.
It depends on your
state. Why would I trust them?
It depends on your state. When it comes to the school, it depends on your state. A lot of this depends on your state. It's not something that's national.
No. Let's compare the country as a whole to other countries. Would you say we're doing good?
On what metric?
On any metric. on mathematics, on science, on literature, anything. You pick it.
Not really, but what I'm saying is that the country, hold on, the countries that do the things that I'm talking about, they are doing good. So why shouldn't we do what they're doing?
Because we don't have the culture to supplant these ideas. Everybody's trying to take from our country. Nobody's trying to give. If you've ever looked at a culture like Japan or been there, everybody's all totally like willing to put in for the common good. Nobody here is willing to do that.
Okay, so great. So let's go ahead and change our culture so we can put in for the common good.
Okay, how are you going to do that?
Convince people that this is better for them too.
Okay, you do that, and I'll sign up on board. But we're not touching a dime before we do that. You think we're just going to do that and then change the culture? There's no way.
No, we can do that. We can do it and change the culture because people will realize that this is great. Let's go ahead and keep it.
No, that's not how it works. You don't get the money before you do your work.
So how do you explain civil rights? I explain civil rights. People were against civil rights too, but then we didn't realize, okay, like this is better for us, so let's do it.
Yeah, but there was change before the civil rights, before the 1964.
No, there wasn't.
Anyway.
No, there wasn't.
Absolutely, there was.
MLK was still the most hated man in America until Ronald Reagan made a birthday for him.
But of course, there was still opposition, but things were definitely changing before the civil rights. Things don't just go to.
No, they weren't. You're kidding me?
No, you think that they just sign a bill out of nowhere? Like all of a sudden there's extreme hate and we're just going to go, we're just going to sign this bill and it's all going to go away.
That's literally what happened because black people put pressure on them to do it.
What happened.
Black people put pressure on them to do it. And they went ahead and changed the society because of that. When civil rights was first signed, people hated it. Nowadays we just see it as normal.
I agree with that, but if you're going to say everybody hated it, then you're being foolish.
The majority of white people hated it, bro. This country was extremely racist. The majority of white people hated it.
No, the majority of the country never even had slaves or anything.
I'm not talking about slavery. I'm talking about civil rights. I'm not talking about slavery. I'm talking about civil rights. The majority of white people back then hated it.
Where do you think that stemmed from, though?
It came from slavery. Of course, it came from slavery. But what I'm talking about is that hold on.
Where do you think our deadliest war came from? There were people.
I understand. Hold on.
For the freedom.
I understand that. Listen to what I'm saying to you. When it comes to civil rights, even though people agreed that slavery was a bad thing, they still didn't want equal rights. They still didn't want civil rights. So when it was first signed, people hated it, including the liberal California. California is probably one of the most racist states. I'm to tell you the truth. It's basically desert Alabama, but it was hated. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, people just see it as a normal everyday part of life. That's what I'm saying. We could do the same thing for all the rest of the policies.
You can't say California. California was never even a slave state. I mean, I don't get where your proof is for that.
California wasn't a slave state. I'm saying that it's still one of the most racist states in the country.
Okay, what's your metric? What's your proof?
Discrimination.
Okay, in what way? Where?
Redlining, NIMBYism. Ever heard of NIMBYism?
Yeah.
NIMBYism is called not in my backyard. Basically, it's basically opposition to expanding homes and expanding them more to people who are low income, people who are a part of different races. There's also stuff like white flight, you know what I mean? But I'll explain NIMBYism first. NIMBYism is called not in my backyard. And every time people try to change the zoning laws, especially when it comes to California, people are oppose it because they don't want a certain element in their community. That comes from racism. That's a legacy of racism. Right now, California is so expensive because they don't have enough homes, basically. It's underbuilt. There's not enough houses in California, which makes all the other prices go up. And that all came from NIMBYism. Same thing with white flight. White flight, Compton, the city of Compton, it used to be 80% white. Why did it turn 80% black? Because once black people started moving in, what happened to all the white people? They left. California has a legacy of horrid racism that people don't know about. But yeah, it's one of the most racist states in the country. Back then and now.
I mean, you could say it's 80% black, but the crime rates in Compton are terrible. Maybe that's why they left.
No, they left before that happened. Black people started moving to Compton in the early 70s or in the late 60s, actually. Why do you think the white people left?
They probably didn't like the culture.
They didn't like the people.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know who those people are. So, I mean, I
There
can't
was
really
black
say
people.
yes
When
or
black
no.
people first moved into Compton, white people left because of racism. There was no other reason.
You could say it's because of racism, but
What was the reason then?
I don't know. What do you think? I think there is a problem. There are definitely problems, and I'm not saying this from like any sort of like racial way. I'll say there's problems in white communities too, but I think there is definitely problems in black communities and aspects.
No one denies that.
I think that, so I'm saying maybe that had to be some sort of consideration in people moving.
What in
I don't know.
because they believed that black men were rapists and that black women were whores. That was the reason. Racism.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. I don't know. I'm saying what I'm basically my bottom line saying is, and I'll kind of say this because I got to scoot in like 5 minutes. Anytime the government starts subsidizing, the price goes up. It is what it is.
Okay. So how come the prices aren't high in the countries that have universal health care?
I don't want to join.
What do you mean?
There's got to be a reason. The prices of the
they're high. You don't realize that's high. They're 50 to 75%. They're taking right off the top, right out of your paycheck.
Are you talking about taxes?
That's extremely high.
Talking about taxes?
Yes.
All right. Look, no one's gonna want 70.
You're paying for that.
I got you. Hold on. Listen. I would understand like 70% taxes. I got you, right? But if my taxes are around 45 to 50%, but again, I get a trade-off of that, meaning I get a good education system, I get a good healthcare system, I get more walkable cities, I get a better environment for my kids to grow up in, I get parental leave for me to spend more time with my kids, I get so much vacation days, I mean, stuff like that. Like if my material conditions get better, even though my taxes are 45%, the trade-off is there, right?
No, it's not there. Because
Okay.
you're acquiring debt.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question then. So if your taxes are 45%, but you get everything that I just said, you would be angry still?
I'm saying that the private market is going to give you that and more.
But they haven't.
It's going to be cheaper for you.
But they haven't.
Because you're missing what I'm saying. Because the government is meddling in these things. Tell me an area the government's not meddling in. Are they meddling in housing?
No.
Yes. Are they meddling in food? Yes.
No.
In housing? You never heard of Section 8 housing?
Section 8 doesn't meddle with the housing market.
How does that not meddle with when you start fixing the prices of things? When you start saying how much things are going to cost, and you start subsidizing money.
That's not for the entire market. Section 8 doesn't do that for the entire market.
But it doesn't have to be the entire market.
Yes, it does. It literally does.
No, it literally doesn't.
Because you said
you're controlling the price of the government.
You said that they're meddling in the housing market, but Section 8 is simply a lottery for low-income people to get into housing. It doesn't tell them the price. It doesn't. It regulates stuff like material and building conditions. That's not even Section 8. But I think you would want regulations around how a building is built.
Are you saying they don't help pay their landlords for staying?
That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, they do that. What I'm saying is that hold on.
The price.
Listen. It doesn't because okay. How what's the average price of a home in your state?
You mean like for rent?
For just to buy a house, how much is the price?
Oh, I don't know, probably $1 million.
Probably $1 million. Is that because of Section 8 or that's because of lack of housing?
No, that's because of government putting too many restrictions on people trying to build.
Like what? That's not Section 8.
Well, I'm not saying that. I was talking about rent before. Now we're talking about buying. You're the one that kind of changed it up.
Okay, but rent is not because of Section 8 either. The average rent. Hold on. The average rent in my state is anywhere up from $2,500 to $3,000. Right. That's the average rent in my state. Section 8 didn't cause that. What caused that is a lack of buildings, basically lack of housing. It wasn't Section 8
from the government.
No, it wasn't from the government.
Also causes that.
It's because of supply chains.
Right. Supply and demand. Is it more or less expensive to build a home? Why? Because of permits? Maybe 20% of it can go to permits.
Right, but that's not Section 8.
You know what a tree? Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying. It's not Section 8.
Section 8 says that they're going to pay a portion of your rent, correct?
But how?
Yes or no?
Yeah, it does. What I'm trying
to explain it to you.
I'm trying to connect this. What I'm trying to connect
I'm going to
this.
explain it.
Hold on. I understand Section 8 already. What you're not saying,
Okay,
what you're not explaining. Hold on. I understand Section 8. What you're not explaining is that how exactly does Section 8 affect millions of other homes? Because Section 8 is only for a certain portion of people. And it's a lottery program. It's a lottery program. How does it do that?
I'm going to explain it to you right now, okay? Let's say the price is $2,500, right? Let's make it a clean $2,500. Now, you get Section 8 housing, okay? The government is going to pay a portion of your rent, right? Yes?
Yeah.
So let's say if you're going to get a Section 8 member in your house and you're the landlord and the government's going to pay for it, what are you going to do?
What?
You're going to raise the price.
You realize there's a cap on that,
You don't see how that doesn't affect, huh?
It's a cap on that.
It's guaranteed money. They want the Section 8 people. They're going to pay a percentage of it. Yes, there's going to be a cap. They know they're more likely to get it from that than an open market.
Do you think every single do you think every single apartment building is under Section 8? How much of the rental properties do you think are Section 8?
Do I think one more time. Do I think every apartment building's Section 8?
Do you think every single apartment building in California? Hold on, let me answer. Do you think every single apartment building in any state, the majority of those apartments are Section 8?
There has to be a certain percentage of new builds, yes, especially here in California.
So in California, the majority of the apartment buildings are Section 8?
I didn't say the majority. I said a percentage.
That's what I was asking.
It has to be 20%.
That's what I was asking. Are the majority of buildings in California Section 8? No. How many are Section 8?
Roughly to new build, probably 20%.
So in California, 20% of new buildings have to be Section 8?
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, somewhere in there. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere 20%.
Let's look it up.
Yeah.
In California, is it required that 20% of new buildings are Section 8?
New units. But yeah.
Okay, no, California does not have a statewide mandate that 20% of all new buildings must be Section 8. Where'd you get it from?
What else, sir? Keep reading.
Cities and counties can set their own inclusionary housing percentage, often around 10 to 20%.
Okay, yeah.
So it depends on your city?
I work with a builder. Everything we do is 20%, Section 8.
So
that's where I got it.
So it depends on the city?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. So maybe you should talk to your like the city council or something,
and just get that out, and just like get all the poor people out.
Well, not get all the poor people out. Here's the thing.
Just messing with you.
Because like the Section 8 is a lottery anyway, so it's not one of those things where people are just gonna be signing up for it and you just get it, right?
Right, but you still have to pay it. The public pays for it.
Yeah, we should have guaranteed housing.
I have to pay for my housing, and I have to help pay for somebody else's housing. Is that fair?
You have to pay for how are you paying for somebody else's housing?
Oh my gosh, HUD housing comes from the government. Yes.
Yeah, sure, I'm fine with that.
The government doesn't have any money. It all comes from you and me.
Yeah, sure, I'm fine with that.
So you think it's fine for me to get up and go to work and me pay for somebody else's housing and my own?
Are they going to be paying for yours too if you ever fall on hard times?
No, they're not paying for mine.
Hold on. You're not listening to what I'm saying. If you ever fall on hard times, Are they going to be paying for yours too?
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess, but
Yeah. So
I
I'm
don't
fine
want
with that.
No, I'm not fine with that. I don't want them to pay for me. They shouldn't have to.
All right. How about
They should be
this?
paying-
Okay. So pack everything up and go live in the forest and not live in society, because that's how society is ran, bro. We all look out for each other. I'm not sure why that's a bad thing.
No, I'm more than willing to look out for people. If my neighbor loses his job, am I not willing to be generous to him? I just don't want the government getting involved in it because they're
Why not?
crazy expensive.
Why not? They're the ones who they have the monopoly on violence. So yeah, they should be the one that takes care of all this.
Because they've already proven that they can't do it. And
So
we
why
want to
does
give
it
them
work
more
in other
power.
countries? Why does it work in other countries?
It doesn't.
Yeah, it
They
does.
have crazy, oh my gosh, they have crazy
They have
high
taxes. Yes, I know they have high taxes. What I'm saying is that the trade-off is there.
Look,
Like
you look
if-
at countries like Sweden. How many people do you think live in Sweden? Just a guess.
7 million, I think.
I think it's like 10, but sure, whatever. Okay, compare that to ours. They're decades out from where we're going to be, but they will be there. They're going to get there.
But they
It's going to happen.
But the thing is, we never did what they done. So it's like how is it gonna happen? We never knew what they done.
We have social, oh my gosh, we have like Social Security, we have all Medicare, we have Medicaid, we have HUD housing, we have food stamps, we have everything, dude. I mean, you can
Yeah,
name it.
but-
We subsidize EVs, like we
Right, but
subsidize everything.
Our social
We
programs,
spend more money
our
than any
social,
other country on
Mhm.
social programs other than France.
our social,
we do.
our social programs are a lot more restrictive than what they have.
Right, but I don't care. We spend more money than they do. We spend more everything.
Yeah, why is that?
Because of our social programs.
Yeah, our social programs. Because I'm not sure if you know this, but but whenever you talk to us, 9 out of 10 times when you're talking to someone on the phone for a social program, is not an actual government employee. It's a private employee. We contract a lot of that
being
work out.
paid by the government though.
Right,
So it
exactly.
doesn't matter.
So we shouldn't be contracting out to these private companies then, right?
Right. And do
Okay,
these
great.
countries charge
So-
the government lots of money or little money?
No, they don't. There's no money at all to be charged to anybody. They don't contract out to private businesses.
Oh, they
That's
work
what we
for
need to-
free.
Hold on. No, I'm not saying they work for free. What I'm saying is that they don't contract out that work to private businesses. That's what we need to stop doing. We need to stop contracting out the work to private businesses and just let a government employee handle it.
And just let the government control everything.
Who said the government control everything? The government's not going to decide what pizza you have.
No, I'm saying they're going to control every major aspect of my life, like housing and healthcare and all these types of things. You want the government to be in control of that?
Who says they're going to control it? No one's going to control it. When it comes to healthcare, your healthcare isn't controlled in Italy. You can go whatever doctor you want. The bill just goes to the government. You don't control
And
anything.
they just pay it.
You just pay it.
So why don't I just quit my job and just let the government pay for my
Wow.
housing, pay for my
Well,
Healthcare.
hold on.
Yeah.
I'm saying, why would you quit your job? Why would you do that? What would the point?
Well, why? I get it all for free. The government's going to pay
Who said you
for
can
it.
get
Why
off
do
for
I need it?
free? We're talking about healthcare.
Yeah, you're going to deny me that?
Now you what? Your healthcare is gonna get paid for. But who says?
Yeah.
Who says everything else in your life is gonna get paid for? You still gotta buy food. What are we talking about?
These are Democrat policies.
No, they're not. Democrats that can't even pass universal
Tell me-
healthcare.
Tell me right now that communism is not a left-leaning
not.
thing.
No, communism is a left-leaning thing, but it's not a Democrat thing. Democrats are not communists, like at all.
All these aspects have come from the left. All these social programs, Social
Yes,
Security.
they do come from the
it's
left,
bankrupt.
and
Right,
we all
and they're not
agree
good.
that they're good for us.
No, they suck. Social Security sucks.
Before Social Security and Medicare, old people died and starved. You want to go back to that?
Before that, everybody died and starved.
No, I'm talking about like okay. So you're fine with old people starving to death.
No, I think people should take care of their parents. I think people should take care of their neighbors. I don't think it's up to the government.
We don't have the system to do that, bro. Unfortunately, we
Yes,
don't have the
we
network
do.
to do that. We don't have the network to do that. We don't.
Yes, we do.
Charities-
Are you saying the richest nation of all time doesn't have the
charities-
ability to help?
No, charities were not enough to help these people out. Before Social Security, before food stamps, old people and poor people were eating cat food, bro. You want to go back to that?
No, they weren't. So let's
Exactly.
say your
Yes, they
parents,
were.
let's say one of your parents gets sick. Are you going to help them or no?
Of course, I'm gonna
Just
help
gonna-
them. But
Okay,
what
cool.
I'm saying is
Let's
that
go back to that.
of course I'm gonna help them. What I'm saying is that my ability to help them is limited, isn't it?
Opposed to what?
Opposed to the government.
Unlimited amount of ability?
Yeah, they're basically unlimited. They have a lot more. I'm not saying they're unlimited.
Really?
What I'm saying, hold on, wait, Danner,
Danner.
Compared to me, the government has a lot more resources to help my parents than me, don't they?
You are more efficient at helping your neighbors and your parents than the government will ever be.
You really didn't answer my question.
It's not about capacity.
Yes, it
It's
is.
doing the right thing.
Yes, it is. It is about capacity because guess what? I'm one human and I work and I have only so much time in the hours of a day and I only have so much resources, right? Like
Yeah,
I can't pay for
I
can't pay for my own housing and the government housing and my parents' housing. However, if we have guaranteed housing that's paid for by the government, then my parents would be okay, wouldn't they?
So if the government just wants to like cut your health insurance, cut your food, and cut your housing one day, they're totally fine to do that.
Why would they do that?
Well, oh my gosh!
What's the
read a history book?
What's the incentive? What's the incentive?
You know, the
hold on, hold on.
35 million people.
What is the incentive of the government cutting off healthcare and housing and food? Matter of fact, I'm not even advocating for them to pay for our food. No one said that. What I'm trying to I'm not. I say that.
That's a Democrat policy.
Free food is not on any Democratic policy. It's not.
Seriously?
It's not.
That wasn't made by the Democrats?
Tell me which
lunch?
What, free lunch?
For lunchtime?
I'm for free lunch. Yeah, free lunch is fine. But
there's no such thing as free lunch. That's what you don't get. Somebody's got to pay for it.
We pay our taxes, but what's the trade-off? You're saying that you're against your taxes going to kids eating? That's insane.
That's what you think. That's like what you think is like I'm against kids eating. Like that's such a face value thing. Now, if I said, are you against your kids paying for that and having a deficit and it's going to run against the bill and everybody's going to have less money because of the inflation?
What a bill?
Oh my gosh, this goes towards the deficit. There's no such thing as free money. You print it, right? There's no such thing as an unbalanced budget. It goes towards the deficit and you pay it later, right? You pay interest on that.
Yeah, I understand all that. What I'm trying to say
pay for what?
What I'm trying to
free lunching?
What I'm trying to say is that as an adult, when you go to work, is the government paying for your lunch or are you paying for your lunch?
I'm paying for my lunch.
Great. Okay, cool. But kids in school where we require them to be, why would we not feed them? That's insane.
Why would we? Why would we take out?
Because we require them to be there. Why we starve kids, bro? We require them to be there. We're not going to feed them. That's kind of crazy.
Bring a lunch. Do you bring a lunch to work?
No, not always. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I
don't. You eat lunch at work?
I eat lunch at. You didn't hear what I said, do you? Are you listening to what I said?
Yeah.
You asked me if I bring lunch to work. I said. You asked me if I bring lunch to work. I said no, not always. And then you said, "Oh, I don't eat food."
But you do.
Of course, I eat food.
But you do. No, but you do. You said not always. So
not always. Lunch. Right. In the days where I don't bring, in the days where I don't bring lunch because I'm an adult, bro. I'm capable of doing that.
Right.
What I'm saying is that when it comes to yes, they do, but they're not always capable to do that. So that's why we have free lunch.
Stop.
Hold on. Stop. Listen, bro. You understand that there are parents out there who cannot always make lunch for their kids, right? You understand that? There are some days where they can't do it, right?
No, you can do it. Dig deep.
Holy fuck. All right, bro. We're past 15 minutes. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop. We're gonna go ahead and move on, y'all. We're past 15 minutes. I did see the people who are requesting, but I know some of you guys are on my side, which is why I didn't bring you up. I'm only going ops only for now. Give me a second. I do think I do have an op, but I do appreciate y'all for being here. Okay. I think Susanna was first, and I'll bring up Stardust as well. I'm not sure if Stardust is on my side or not, if he's an op, but we'll bring up Stardust and see what they got to say. Stardust, give me one moment. All right. So for everybody who's watching me over on YouTube, I do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all being here. For people who are watching me from the Deconstruction Junction, you can go ahead and call in if you'd like to discuss with me. Numbers right up here, 786-530-5941. You can see it right up here. Call me in. If you're watching from Twitch, Thank you so much for watching me on Twitch. And if you're watching me on Instagram, I'm on Instagram right now. If you're watching me from there, phone number is 786-530-5941. If you're watching me over on Instagram, I'd like to talk to me. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to Stardust. Stardust, how's it going? Are you at least 18? Did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Nigger, 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 nigger,
Let's get lit. Your mama like it. Your mama like it. Hey, your mama like it.
Oh man.
Hey, your mama like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and move on
Call
to
from
3, 2, 3.
Julius.
Julius, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with what I have on the board?
I'm well past 18, man. And I just saw the thing on YouTube, and I just, you know what? It's clear that a lot of people are stupid. For those like what's his face, Gearbread or whatever, the Democrats are not communists. In fact, the Democrat leadership is, they're centrist and would lean on the right side easily over anything left. This country
All right. So
pathetic in how this country. I'm sorry. Just let me say this.
Hmm?
This country is pathetically run because of really. People want to say like how this country is taken over by an oligarchy. No. It's not been taken over by an oligarchy. The oligarchy took advantage because of idiots who know absolutely nothing, who take in words like communism and conflate it into meaning anything that they don't like and don't understand. We could go into this whole technical detail of what communism is, which is easy, and then at the same time we could go how different it is from what the Soviet Union did.
All right. So
let's be clear here again.
I got you. I do appreciate you, but this is only for the ops. But I do appreciate you. Keep liking and keep supporting the live. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go. But I appreciate it. I thank you so much.
I just want to say this.
Sure.
Republicans and the Democratic leadership, it's just there's no real difference when it comes to day-to-day options, right? And for those who want to whine about Mamdani, yeah, his policies are more social democracy, like the way it was in Europe, and what we were pushing in the 20th century, which is why people had more money in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. And then what happened was Reagan. And then since then, everything went opposite. And that's why you're poor. It's not because of immigration. It's because you're stupid and your greed and your stupidity mix in with arrogance, and you're voting for the same stupid crap. Gotcha. And you're going to vote for Trump no matter what.
Gotcha. Appreciate you. Sorry, y'all. I had to move on. But I do appreciate you calling in. And yeah, everything is terrible because of Reagan. Let me go ahead and call the person who was calling before.
Yeah, I'm here to discuss.
All right. Hey, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And can I have your name, please?
Yes, sir. Cato.
All right. How's it going, Cato? I am. You said you're here to discuss. You did disagree with what I have on the board. Sure. Why did you disagree with leftist policies are better for society?
I think when it comes to things like SNAP and those other like food programs. I don't really think that they're good for society. I think they're very costly. And then these programs, you don't even get a lot of money. Like most SNAP recipients don't get a lot of money from the SNAP anyway. I think the SNAP is what? You get like $200 and something a month.
Mm-hmm.
And we spend hundreds of millions of dollars on SNAP. It might be in the billions on SNAP programs. Where is the rest of the money going?
Yeah, it usually goes to like bureaucratic things, middlemen. It goes stuff like that. I mean, the thing is like over time that $200 builds up, right? If you have millions of people on the program, those $200 each is gonna account for like billions of dollars, right?
Maybe. I mean, but like, have you ever seen SNAP recipients? Like you
I
ever
used to
been
work in
outside or
SNAP.
you know?
I used to work in it.
Yeah, and you ever? Yeah, and you when you see the people that you know that claim to need this stuff, like all the single mothers. Have you seen the women and how big they are?
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah,
the
and you
things
see
about
there a lot.
the thing is about food stamps. When I was working for social services for my state, right? The people were very, very diverse. Basically, yeah, you had some people who were big. You also had some people who were very, very skinny. You had a bunch of white folks. You had a bunch of black folks. You had a bunch of Hispanic folks. You had a surprising amount of Asians in it. Like it was very, very diverse. You had people who were very, very smart, just fell on hard times. You had 17-year-olds got kicked out their house because she got pregnant and her mom kicked her out. You know what I'm saying? So like you had a whole bunch of people that were doing these things, right? It wasn't just a bunch of fat, lazy people that kind of doesn't it doesn't really capture the essence of who's really on food stamps. The thing that they all had in common, well, let me just say this. The thing that they all had in common was poverty. All of them were poor. You know what I mean? So like all of my cases, that's what they all were. Now, of course, I ran into people who are scamming the system. Like they would say that, it's an 80-year-old grandma. And when I hear the person on the phone, I can hear like a 15-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I ran into that, of course. But for the vast, vast majority, they all had one thing in common, and it was poverty. You know what I'm saying? So we just can't say these are a bunch of lazy fat people.
Yeah, but the problem is that the United States has the highest single mother rate in the world. And I think the reason why that is because of welfare. They know that if they have kids that they're going to be eligible for this stuff. And I think a lot of women, they just don't care if the father is there because they know the state's going to help them anyway. So we have this ginormous welfare state. We have a massive amount of single mothers. Most of these women are overweight. They have money for hair, nails, weave, lashes, but for some weird reason, they have trouble feeding their kids, and it's bizarre to me.
I mean, the thing is, what you're doing, you're stereotyping a lot, right? Because, like I said, I used to work in social services. What you described did describe some people. Hold on. What you said did describe some people, but the vast majority of people were just poor, and that was it. You see what I'm saying? So when you say that the reason why we have so much single mothers is simply because of welfare, that's really not true. There's no evidence to show that that's the case. Like what do you think I could look up? What study do you think I could look up that shows that the reason why we have a whole bunch of single mothers is because of welfare? What are you getting that from?
How come? Okay, well, how come before there was a welfare state, we didn't have a bunch of single mothers running around everywhere? Like the black community.
Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Babes. Sorry about that. All right. So yeah, when it comes to the single mother issue, right? Before, when it comes to why the single motherhood rise within all races, right, is because prior to, I think it basically you have to look at like economic opportunities, right? Prior to a certain amount of years, I think before the 1970s, women didn't have a lot of economic options. They were tied to the men. But after they got more economically liberated, you'll see that they didn't have to depend on men for economics anymore, and they can go out and get their own jobs and take care of themselves, which is why you saw divorce rates shoot up. However, now what we're seeing now, hold on. What we're seeing now with millennials and Gen Z is that the marriages are actually staying longer than they did during those ages, right? Because like these people we're now seeing that there are more equal partnerships within these relationships than there was before. Like I think a recent stat came out that black marriages are at a 20-year high and they're lasting longer. You see what I'm saying? So like the stats are going to change. It's just right now we saw the stat change because women were more economically liberated and they can choose better partners now. You just can't have a bunch of money and think you're just gonna get some hoes. You know what I mean?
Well, if they're so economically liberated, then why are women the vast majority of welfare recipients? They're the vast majority.
Right.
Especially per capita, it's black women.
Yeah, because of poverty. The black women are more likely to be in poverty.
But they're economically.
Hold on, let me finish. In a general sense, yes, women are more economically liberated, but that doesn't mean that poverty goes away.
Well, I don't even think that they're impoverished. I think that. Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. If you think that they're impoverished, if you don't think they're impoverished, what evidence do you have of that? What evidence do you have that there's a whole bunch of like women making cake, but they just scamming the welfare system? What evidence do we have of that?
No, I believe it's just reckless spending. That's what I believe. I believe that it's spending well beyond your means. So a lot of these people need assistance.
I don't think that.
That's what I think is the problem.
Right, but that's not what the research shows. Like, it's not spending beyond your means.
Like, my sister gets assistance.
Hold on. I get it. What I'm saying is that sure, there could be some people is just spending beyond their means, right? But to say that this is what the problem is, period, is just not true. Poverty doesn't work that way.
Who is doing this research? Because whenever I see with my own eyes, and I see welfare recipients all the time, every day, and you're saying, and I be seeing them, these people they have iPhones, they have everything. Like I don't see this whole, like, who's doing this? Where's this research coming from?
It comes from universities. It comes from the government itself. Let me ask you this question, right? Let's say you said that when you look at people who are welfare recipients, they have iPhones. When I was working in social services, the welfare recipients barely had working phones. So if that's my experience, and my experience is different from yours, which one of us is right?
Yeah, but these people, the people that you're working with, did they have, what else did they have? Did they have a bunch of kids with them?
No, just answer that question. If I have the opposite experience of yours, which one of us is right about the issue?
You said they had barely working phones. What do you mean? Like the phone didn't ring or something?
No, like the phone, like it was falling apart. The phones barely work. Like you could barely hear them. You could barely hear people. The phones that they had, they were touchscreen, right? But they were very, very cheaply made. Yeah. The buttons were falling apart. All
did
that.
They drop them?
Hold on, bro. Wait, hold on. Listen.
What kind of phone?
Hold on. You're really not answering the question, bro. If I have the opposite experience of yours, hold on. If I have because I just took what you said for what you said, but now that I'm trying to tell you that I have the opposite experience, you're trying to add more nuance, which is kind of unfair. So I took what you said at face value, right? These people had iPhones. That's fine. The people that I worked with, or the people that I was servicing, they didn't have iPhones. They had fucked up phones. So if I have the opposite experience of yours, which one of us is right?
What do you mean by which one of us is right?
Because you said that.
Both right?
Hold on. Right. But the thing is, how can we both be right? Because you're saying that you think the issue. Right? Hold on. Listen. You're saying that the issue is overspending because when you see welfare recipients, they have the newest iPhones. I said when I worked in social services, they didn't have any of that. They had really messed up, fucked up phones. And I'm asking you if that's your experience, but this is my experience. Which one of us is right about the situation that's going on here? Are people poor or are they just over? Hold on. Oh. Are they just poor or are they overspending? Which one would it be? You just can't say that it's overspending, and I can't say that it's just poor because this is just our experience. So what I'm trying to point out is that if we can't just go off our personal experience, because again, I have a different personal experience than you. So what do we need to cut through the noise? We need data, right?
Yeah, but when they do data, it goes by what? Asking people.
No, it just doesn't go by asking people. It goes by asking people. There's a surveys. It goes by asking people, and there's other ways that they do it. They actually can look into what they're spending the money on. Like there's a lot of ways that it's done.
It doesn't. Yeah, but the study doesn't say what they're spending their own money on. It only says what they're using the welfare money, right?
Yeah, what they're using the welfare money on.
Study that.
Yeah, yes, there is. There's studies that shows where people spend their money on. Can you give me a second? I'm sorry, y'all. Can you give me a second? Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Babes, you're yelling. You're yelling. Yeah. Like you were yelling for like 5 minutes. You're yelling. All right. Sorry about that. All right, guys. So
Yeah, when I look at when I look at Snap,
Mhm.
yeah, when I look at Snap, the number one thing that's purchased with Snap is soda. It's pop. Most of the people, most Snap recipients, they're buying soda. You know, they buy food too, but it's mostly junk, unhealthy, fruit drinks and soda. So if they're going to do SNAP programs, why don't they limit it to more healthier, food instead of, pop and candy? Well, I don't know if you can buy candy, but soda and fast food, not fast food, but like junk food, like potato chips and cakes and cookies. Like you shouldn't be able to buy that stuff with SNAP. But that's what most people buy with SNAP.
I don't care what they spend it on.
Yeah, but that's important because
this leads to disease and diabetes. That's not the main thing that they're buying, though. It does contribute. Hold on. It does contribute. It does contribute. It is one of the significant things that they do buy with it, but that's not the main thing they buy. They buy they buy their own food. They buy because people are not surviving off of soda and chips, bro. They're not surviving off of that.
No, of course not. But I'm saying the number one when you look at the SNAP, the data on what's the most bought with SNAP is soda.
Hold on, let's look this up.
It's the most you look it up. It might have changed, but that's the last time with SNAP. I believe it was soda was the last one was the most thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it makes about 5% of all expenditures.
What was it say? What's the most thing? What was it?
Yeah, the single most purchased item is soda, but you're hold on, but you're making a mistake here. That's the most purchased item on Snap, but that doesn't mean that accounts for the majority of what people buy on Snap. Those are two different things.
Well, what's the majority?
The majority is basically cheese and bread and ground beef, because soda is about 5% of all the Snap. Of all of SNAP expenditures, all 100%, soda is 5%.
It's 5%. So how is it the most purchased then?
It's the most it's basically the most purchased. Like how can I explain this? It's the single most purchased item, but it's like I'm not sure how to really explain this, right? Because like when you look at all SNAP benefits. When you say, okay, what are people purchasing consistently the most on like it's the most consistent thing that they buy, basically out of like, let's say there's 50,000 SNAP recipients. Out of 50,000 SNAP recipients, about 47,000 of them, they all buy soda, right? That's what that means.
Out of 57,000?
Right. Let me give you an example. Let's say let's say there's a sample size of 50,000 people who are on food stamps, right? And when you look at what they spend on, you'll see that about 45,000 of them, the thing that they all had in common when they bought stuff was soda. So even though that's the most thing they had in common, that doesn't mean that's the main thing they're buying. You see what I'm saying? That's what that means.
So I guess maybe I could be more specific. So the main things that is are they buying? But these recipients, do they buy soda and juice more than water?
I don't know. We'll have to let me look that up. I really don't know. I honestly don't. I won't be able to tell you that. Yeah. I know milk is one of the big things. Milk is one of the big things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think milk and cheese and ground beef is fine, but I think that because we buy a lot of junk with these programs, you create a lot of you help create a lot of obesity, and which can it creates disease like diabetes, heart disease. A lot of kids are like pre-diabetic now, and this can also drive up medical costs. And a lot of soda companies, they actually lobby the government for these subsidies like this.
Yeah, of course, because it's a big item to purchase. The thing is, like, soda is very, very cheap, right? The candy stuff like that. Yeah, all that is really cheap to buy. So of course that's what they're gonna buy. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is though, like poor people eating or drinking soda, I don't. Who cares? Like, I'm not sure what the problem is here. Yeah, I mean, we all drink soda. Like, it's.
Yeah, the poor people are some of the most obese people.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true, and it's because like the quality of food is the quality of food is worse. You know what I'm saying? So like, doesn't that mean that we should concentrate on putting out more quality food than worrying about what they're spending on?
Yeah. No, I think we should. I think they should use the SNAP. If you want to buy junk, you should use your own money. I think with SNAP, it should be healthy stuff like bread, freaking oatmeal.
That's a very slippery
stuff
slope.
like that.
That's a very slippery slope. I don't want to tell people what to buy. I mean, there's already things that are not eligible for SNAP benefits, right? So it's like I'm not sure.
Yeah, but don't you want to bring down disease?
Of course I want to bring down disease, but poor people buying soda is not the reason why we have disease.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Soda contributes to diabetes.
So ban soda?
I would love to ban soda.
I get that going. I'm not sure how far it's gonna get.
I mean, from not to be all anecdotal, but everybody in my house, they buy a lot of soda and they all big.
So?
Yeah, that's a problem. Like
are they big
people,
because of genetics, or
I mean, if you want to see people back in, it can be both.
All right. So here's the thing. One of the main reasons why we have an obesity issue in this country is because everything has sugar in it. Even all of the healthy items that you says have sugar in it. And because everything has sugar in it, that's why, because glucose retains more fat, right? So that's why we have the obesity issues that we have, which means that we should be going after the sugar industry. Because over in places like Japan, hell, even my parents' country in Haiti, there's not a lot of sugar in the soda. Like I could go to Haiti right now and drink nothing but Sprite and I'll lose weight. You know what I'm saying? So the issue is what's happening with the food here. I don't think we should be banning soda. I think we should be reformulating these formulas that they have that put so much sugar and glucose into it.
Yeah. Well, I think with SNAP, what about this? Like you could purchase like diet soda, where it's like zero sugar. You can have, you can buy that, or you can buy. They should limit it to just diet soda.
Stuff
like that.
Yeah, I don't care what they buy. That's what I'm saying. I don't care what they buy. We should just reformulate how the food is made here.
Well, I get what you're saying, but do you see my point? Like medical cost is expensive because of the high demand of people needing to go to the hospital. Like most of us lost relatives due to heart disease and diabetes. Like I lost my uncle, my grandmother. They all died of complications from diabetes. My aunts, and it was because and I was a welfare recipient. They will always buy soda or juice, cakes,
because it's cheap. But the thing is, when it comes to medical costs in America, it's not just because motherfuckers is fat. It's because of like a fragmented system. That's really the reason. Like pharmaceutical costs and administrative waste. It's because of like administrative shit, not really because people just fat. So like it's
but if people ate healthy,
that won't change the administrative cost, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like
so people. Because people ate healthy, that wouldn't drop medical costs.
No, because much of the costs around medical stuff is because of administrative stuff and then no control over pricing. That's all like business stuff and profit seeking. It's not because people is fat.
But you see, most of the money that goes to these programs are going to administrative costs. I guarantee you, most of the SNAP money, the little $200 a month that they get, the bulk of that money goes to administrative costs and paying administrators and whoever runs these
administrative
facilities
costs.
Or whatever.
Exactly. So it's not really it's not really folks being fat. Now obesity I'm not gonna sit here and say that you don't have a point. Excuse me. Obesity does contribute. I'm not gonna say that that's not true what you're saying. What you're saying is true. Obesity does contribute, and if we got obesity under control, we may see some costs go down. But the things that's gonna bring the cost all the way down is if we just go to a universal system. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, but the cost if people in the U.S. were if obesity in the U.S. dropped by like 50%, I believe that the trips to the doctors and stuff will drastically decrease, and medical costs will drop. If people need medical costs less, then they will, they will most likely drop. It's just a basic supply and demand. There's such a high demand for.
I mean, the thing is, it's more of an issue of preventative care. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot of preventative care in our country, and that's one of the main things that make the costs go up. It's not just like trips to the hospital all the time because niggas is fat. Is because like we don't do preventive care in the first place, and then we go to the hospital, we go to the doctor when the issue is already really, really far gone, when we're deep into the issue, it's going to cost you more. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's really an issue of not seeking preventative care. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to dismiss everything that you're saying. I'm not dismissing everything you're saying. Obesity is a concern.
Yeah. I know you're not.
Yeah. Obesity is a concern. And I do agree with you that, yeah, if I want to correct what I said before, 'cause I said no before, but I actually agree with you. You are right. If we get obesity under control, yeah, some of the costs will go down. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that, right? But I think the issue, the resolution to that is not just controlling what poor people can buy on food stamps. It's reformulating our formulas and what we eat, getting control of the sugar industry. I think is the issue is exercise, not just exercising more or stuff like that. I'm thinking of I'm looking at preventative care. There we go. Stuff like that, and moving more to a universal system. I think those things will help out more. But I do agree with you. Obesity is an issue. You know what I mean? I just don't think it'll get solved by controlling what poor people eat.
Would you be for like a program like I guess like, if you stay under a certain weight, you'll get some sort of, I don't know, benefit or something like that, or they show more commercials on, hey, being fat will do this to you, and being big will do that to you. And,
it can help.
And like we could keep your system. I'm just saying, but put out like propaganda. Like if you want to keep the programs, that's fine. But just like put out propaganda saying, hey, don't be this way or this X, or like they used to do with the drug commercials.
Oh
they
yeah,
say, this is your brain on drugs.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm not sure how effective that would be, and not only that, you don't want to dehumanize people. You know what I'm saying? So it's I think we should be treating obesity as a medical issue. You know what I mean, more than like a social failure. Because like that's what your brain is on drugs thing was. It was just treating it more as a social failure than a medical issue. And as we know now, like crackheads weren't just failing moral failures, they were just sick. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should approach it from that angle than just telling them that they're propagandizing them to like you can get skinny if you just get better morals. I'm not sure that's the way to go about it. I think we should approach it.
I don't mean like doing it in a. No, I'm not saying like doing it in a mean way, like in like some sort of hey, get on the treadmill, you fat piece of S word. Like,
yeah.
No, I'm not saying like but just I don't know how I would do it, but I'm not trying to like and some people actually do like crack, by the way. It's not that they're sick. Some people actually do like doing that stuff.
So people were doing it, yeah. I got you. That's true.
Yeah, but I'm not saying dehumanizing anybody, like not showing pictures of real life fat people and try to be like, hey, you don't want to be like this guy. Is
okay? I see what you're saying.
A cartoon animation or something.
No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Like, let them know that hey, if you're at this height and this weight, you may have a medical issue. Come into the doctor or do this thing and see if it'll help you out. And if that doesn't help you out, go see a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would probably agree with that. Like, hey, if you're 5'7", but you're 278 pounds or close to 300 pounds, you may have, and you're not an athlete, you may have a medical issue. try changing your diet up. If you see that you're not losing any weight, go see your doctor immediately. If your chest is hurting when you sleep, go see your doctor because you may have a medical issue. Stuff like that. Yeah, I wouldn't. I think something like that may be cool. And I also think we gotta reformulate it because corn syrup is in everything, bro. It's in everything. So we gotta get rid of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think if we did some of that, then you'll see the obesity issues go away. You know, you see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I do appreciate you taking my call, man. It seems like we agree more than we like disagree.
Yeah, we just approach it from different angles. But I appreciate you. All right, call back anytime.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. Yeah, so it's still one-on-one, y'all. Still one-on-one. I have one last person I'm gonna call before I probably get a friendly up, and then we get out of here. Let me call just this last person, who I missed. Give me 1 second, y'all. Well, we'll see if they answer. And once again, if you're watching me over on the Instagram, thank y'all so much for watching me there.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going? This is Volsi again. I just was giving you a call back. Did you want to discuss?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Can I just have your name and are you at least 18?
Yeah, my name is Nicholas. I'm 26.
Nicholas, 26. All right. So you disagree that leftist policies are better for society?
Well, I was actually thinking I stroke my dick in your mouth. Was that all right?
Well, you'll have to ask my wife first. Yeah, I mean, I don't think she'll appreciate that. And also, I don't think your mom would appreciate that either because you see, we fuck her every night. Yeah, I mean, so she may not like the fact that I'm cheating on her with you. See what I mean?
Oh yeah, that is true actually.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Appreciate you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on. All right. So let me see. I think I had a friendly up. I think I'm gonna go ahead and bring Kay up. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and keep it up for the last few minutes. Y'all go ahead and tap that screen. The reason why I'm not getting more guests is because earlier I got restricted. Right? Earlier I got restricted.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because the person who was spamming the N-word. So they restricted me because of that.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I was here for that.
Yeah, I already blocked them. But there was someone here like just spamming the N-word, so I just started doing rap beats.
You know what's so funny? Because speaking of restrictions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to like some homegirls about what actually happened yesterday on your live when I put my picture up and etc. And one of the things I noticed, except for like situations like that, I don't think I've ever seen you get restricted, and definitely not because you've had this. Definitely not because you're showing anything below your neck.
Yeah, exactly. It's really weird, right?
But that was straight up misogyny.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, I forgot to do this. Let me go ahead and read my super chat. I forgot there's a person who sent me a super chat. Who was it again?
Shout out to the super chat.
Yeah, shout out to the super chat. Thank you so much. What's her name?
And that was a cute picture, damn it.
Yeah, it was. Okay. It was a cute picture. Thank you so much, earnestly, for the $2 super chat saying doing the Lord's work. I don't know how you find a will, but where there's a will, there's a way, right? Thank you so much, earnestly, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate anybody who would like to support me. Please remember to subscribe. Send me any super chats if you would like to. I thank y'all so much. Remember, y'all, I kind of really do this for free. I work a full-time job. I don't do this full-time yet. All right. I don't have like 100,000 subscribers over on YouTube. At least not yet. You know what I mean? Ancestors willing. Yeah. I'll do that. Ashe. All right.
I mean, yeah, we don't disagree.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let me ask Spicy real quick. Spicy, how's it going, Spicy Sausage? Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Weird.
Mm-hmm. I'm 38. I'm just curious what you mean by leftist.
Okay, great. So the leftist policies that
actually, before we ask that, before we answer that, I think you should clarify. What country are you from?
I'm from fucking. I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, by the way,
yeah.
Oh, Philly, yeah, because I kind of recognize the flag is like Irish, right? I think.
it's Irish, but
No,
also
no,
it's like
because the only reason I asked that was because depending on what country you're from, the politics would be different. So
Yeah,
leftist
true.
in America is not leftist in the same as in other places, or what they
I
was
agree.
defined as that.
Right. Okay.
I
So
agree.
that's an important context to know exactly what we're talking about.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Right.
Can I offer one other minor thing before we get started?
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
As a person from Philly, if the citizenry of the United States
Oh no.
criticized their politicians the same way Philadelphia Eagles fans criticize the head coach and the GM of their organization, we would live in a utopia. We would live
I'm like, let me tell you
the
something.
way
I'm
that
like,
the
as
way
someone from
I'm
men
sorry,
from
the way
Philly.
that we criticize the Eagles, the players, the coaches, people act like if I were to criticize a Democrat or a Republican a certain way, if I criticize, they go, "Oh, you must be a Democrat. Oh, you must be a Republican." It's like, no, I'm critiquing them on their performance. Can we separate the two, please? I am still an Eagles fan.
Mhm.
Me critiquing Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni does not make me a Cowboys fan. Okay, so
Yeah,
can we
no.
keep
I'm
that?
like,
And
I'm
don't
like,
nobody want to be a
in mind.
Cowboys fan. No,
Absolutely,
oh my
absolutely.
god.
I'm just saying, can we
I'm
keep
like, I'm
can we
like,
keep that in mind?
Of course.
That's all.
I'm like, okay, so I just came into a bunch of testosterone, and I'm just a girl.
I got you. All right. So let's go by what I mean by left. Let's go by what I mean by leftist policies. All right. So the policies that I say would be good for society that I generally advocate for, in my opinion, will be things such as universal health care, guaranteed housing, workplace democracy, an end to the war on drugs, abolishing the prison industry, free college, living wage tied to your area and production and cost of living, and of course reparations for African Americans. I think those things, if we implement them within the next 5 years, it would drastically improve the lives of people in society, especially investing into like our infrastructure, investing into walkable cities. I think we should have had this years ago. We should have had a high-speed rail from LA to New York long ass time ago, or at least from LA to St. Louis, and then from St. Louis to New York. We should have had that a long time ago. You feel me? I think that would
I
be
agree.
I think that would be hella. I said hella. I'm so
Actually,
I think that would be great for our society.
China and Japan have those. Actually,
China has that. China has that. So China
If
has
I
that,
were
and
to-
Japan has that. Now,
If I were
of
to
course,
get-
I understand.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course, I understand like the logistics and everything like that and stuff like that. I get that, but like maybe if you can't get a train from,
they're advanced in a lot of ways, honey.
They are.
Shout out to them.
they are now, of course, maybe a high speed train from LA to St. Louis and St. Louis to New York. Maybe if that's not out of the realm of possibility, we should definitely have a high speed rail from New York to Philly to Chicago. That should have been happened. You see what I'm saying? So
Oh yes,
yeah.
because I'm tired of taking the bus every time I go from Philly to New York, honey. Like I'm tired, and the bus is so uncomfortable.
They are exactly.
It's so uncomfortable.
Let me go ahead and let Spicy respond. Go ahead, Spicy. I'm sorry.
I'm
So
sorry.
if I were to tell you that there's actually a party that has ballot access in 40 states across the country, that actually is the only one to have a plan not only for reparations, but an end to foreign wars, universal health care, universal child care, Medicare for all, like, would that be a party that appeals to you? And
DSA?
do you know what party? No, the DSA is not that.
What is it?
The Green Party.
Oh, the Green Party.
They are the only ones. They're the only ones that have that.
No, I work with the Greens. I work with them. I work with the Green Party. Every time I can, if I see there's a Green candidate like for in my like city council or something like that, yeah, I'll vote for them. Yeah. Because I think these third parties like the Green Party, the DSA does have some anti-blackness.
I'm like, I consider myself independent because I really don't like a lot of times the book child. You know we've gotten into that, but I'm like, but if there was actually a third option, that
There
would
is.
address some of those things. I think I would actually go in that direction.
Right, but do you think that the two major corporate owned parties have an incentive to convince
No,
people
I don't.
that voting for third party is against their interest?
Yeah, they don't have an
Well,
incentive at all. Yeah, it's good.
They don't have an
Yeah,
incentive to tell people that voting for third party is against their
Oh,
interest.
okay. I'm misunderstood. Oh,
oh no.
I'm saying
well,
Republicans have an incentive to convince their voters who might be outside the parameters of the either Democratic Party window or the Republican Party window that voting for third party is a quote unquote waste of their vote. Do they have an incentive to do that? Yes or no?
Oh yeah. Of course, they have a incentive to do that.
they
Yeah,
absolutely
we don't disagree. So Spicy, we don't really disagree, right? Because even as me, I don't really like the Democratic Party, and now of course more DSA
the
members
only
winning
reason
seats.
I'm like, to be honest, like I used to, but like as time has gone on, and I've grown older, actually, because my first year voting was 2016, and obviously since then a lot of things have changed.
How old are you?
And I'm only 28. I actually turned 29
Okay.
in
I'm
3
30.
weeks.
I'm 38. I'm 38.
Yeah, me too. So
The
we the
first
old ones here,
president-
Spicy.
I'm like, yeah, y'all are old bitches.
The first
Anyway.
president I was able to vote for was Barack Obama. I canvassed for
Oh
him.
my God!
On my
what's
college
funny?
campus.
I was a kid.
Same.
I was such
I'm
a
at
little
Cal
girl
Penn.
at the
You guys know who
time.
Cal Penn is?
Yeah, I know what that is. All right, but so Green. I mean, I'm sorry, I said Green. Spicy. All right, so Spicy. I think we agree here, right? Like what I think should happen is that I don't mind green candidates. Like I'm great with them. It's just that you see how the corporate parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, they're so entrenched. They have so much money to push out the Greens, push out the DSA, push out all the other parties. So I think
Yeah,
it's
that's
smart
what I
to
was
do.
gonna say. How does it work?
Right. So I think what they should do.
I can tell you.
Right, I
can
got
tell
you. Number one, I think we should get rid of electoral college. That's number one. But number two, what I think
That
should
should have
happen.
been happened a long time ago.
But what I think they should do is I think they should take a page out of the DSA, because you see how there's DSA members who are winning Democratic seats. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the DSA and the Greens need to link up and take this bitch over. You know what I'm saying? If they were to ever take over the Democratic Party, that would be amazing.
The DSA will never link with the Greens.
Why do you think that is?
They're not actually a third party movement. They're a fake progressive party. They're not actually going to fight and do the things that they say they're going to do. AOC protested in Nancy Pelosi's office for like a week, and then she turns around and votes for defensive weapons for Israel. AOC is a fucking sellout. Like, there are very few squad members that have any integrity. Rashida Tlaib being probably one of them, but there are multiple things I could criticize her for.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that we do not have a real meaningful third party. We have two corporate-owned parties.
Of course.
We have people that are like attempting to operate inside the parameters set by those two parties. There's not a third party. There is, like, for example, do you know who Kashama Sawant is?
I haven't heard of her yet.
Have you ever heard of Kashama? Okay. Kashama Sawant is the reason why $15 minimum wage stormed across the country.
Oh, wait. Is she the one from Seattle or Oregon?
Yes.
Yeah, I have heard of her. Yes.
That's what I have heard of her.
Kashama Sawant is an actual socialist. And she's like, I'm not a Democrat. I'm a socialist. I'm running in the Democratic Party, but I'm a socialist.
Exactly.
So again, and you can call yourself whatever you want, but Kashama Sawant is the only one who actually has a meaningful platform that stands on principles outside of the Green Party on any recent election, in my opinion.
No, that's real. Hey, Spicy, like I agree with you, right? I think now you said that the DSA will never link with the Greens. Like unfortunately, I'm not entrenched in these parties to know what the issue is there. Now, I think what needs to happen is that, like, but I still agree. Do you understand what I mean by take a page out what they're doing? You are Green, but run on a Democratic ticket and take that seat so you can get more people in to take the party over. Because I think that's what like the Tea Party did, and we see how that morphed into MAGA. You see what I'm talking about? Spicy. Do you think that's a good idea to do, or should they just stay out of that and stay in as the Greens and not run on a Democratic ticket? What do you think?
I think the DSA victories in New York are very unique compared to a lot of the other ballot lines across the country. I think to present the DSA victories through Zoran Mamdani,
John Williams.
One second, Spicy. John, please hold for me. I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Spicy.
I think to compare what took place in New York, which I totally support. I sent money to Zoran Mamdani. You know, I like I don't even live there. I live in Philly,
I'm like,
I
but he did piss me off with that little stunt he pulled, though. But that's a whole other that one little stunt he pulled. When he,
that stunt where he paid people to shovel snow for $30.
Oh no, that's not that.
The fact that he fixed more potholes and the fact that he gave
what did he do? Like what did he do? Because I'm probably having I don't keep up with it all the time. What do you
do? So he made a speech. And basically he was on that Shabuzi shit. Basically,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I put two together. Yeah, okay.
No, the stunt he pulled was he convinced everybody he was a socialist, and he goes, "I support Hakeem Jeffries." That's the thing that you should be mad about.
That's not what I was referring to.
That's what you should be fucking mad about.
And also the fact the shit that his wife did, and her former priest came out.
She's not in charge.
The thing is, why did he hang up? The thing is, like, Zoran has blind spots, right? I don't think we should deny that because that's always
he has a lot of blind.
He has blind spots. Yeah. I don't think we should deny that
because he really disrespected the black Americans in New York when he fucking said that shit. Okay,
what did he say?
The whole immigrants built New York thing.
He said immigrants built America, completely erasing the transatlantic slave trade.
Hey, John, give me one second. All right, so yeah, now people did hold him to task on that, right? And he did go ahead and correct himself and said that part shouldn't have been erased. But at the end of the day, he has to know that he has to say that first. Yeah, I mean, instead of being corrected, but he took the correction with grace.
If he would have said, added on to, I wouldn't have had an issue. Added on to, but to say build, create, you completely erase the transatlantic slave trade in Black American history, and you also erase the Native American people.
Yeah, I don't think for a moment that was his intention. And if you think it is, I think you're reading way too much.
I don't think that was his intention, but these are like blind spots that people can have, right? And the thing is, what I gave to Zoran is that when someone corrected him on that, he did go on his IG and corrected himself. He said, "Yes, of course, they built America," but that was, and he corrected himself with grace. I give him that. You know what I'm saying? It's just I think where they're coming from is that because of these blind spots.
Yeah, I give you that. My critique of him, he pissed me off about it.
But my critique of him, okay, but like. My critique of him is the fact that he still sat there and said, "Oh yeah, I would vote for Hakeem Jeffries. I support Hakeem Jeffries." This guy, what does Hakeem Jeffries support? He doesn't support everything that we apparently on this live, at least. You know what? Take your phone call. I'm very interested to hear whoever.
No, I got you. All right, guys. Just to let y'all know, the person's not gonna be able to hear y'all. So if y'all speak, if y'all say something, I'm not gonna be able to.
Oh my God, right? So you really gotta fix that.
I know. I have to get a program. Yeah, for sure. Just mute up for me for a second. All right, cool. All right, John Williams, how's it going? I do apologize for that. Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Yeah, I'm 29.
All right, John, 29, and you disagree, correct?
Yeah, I disagree. Also, I'm trying to pay attention to this whole stream thing, and you're doing this like stuttering thing. I really need you to chill out on that. You need to stop doing the stuttering stuff. It's like really distracting.
Okay, I don't really give a fuck. But why you disagree? Why you disagree? Why you disagree? That these policies are better for society.
Yeah, so I would actually just argue that we should just straight up probably repeal the Civil Rights Act of 1960.
All right. So yeah, when we talk about
absolutely not, absolutely not. I'm like, bitch, I will cuss you the fuck out.
yeah, I was
I'm
like,
like,
that's not going anywhere.
don't you and don't. Ooh, bitch. I'm like Charlie Kirkham. Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Charlie Kirkham.
Go ahead and Kirkham.
Bitch, no.
But let me ask you,
last.
Spicy. Yeah, let me ask you, Spicy. How do you think? Now, you said that the DSA, that in your opinion, is a fake progressive party. They do have problems, right? Black leftists have been calling out the blind spots and the a lot of the anti-blackness that exists within the DSA, like for a while now, right? But I think a lot of black people, like black leftists, work within them because of their they have a lot more what's something, a lot more resources. You see what I'm saying? But
I mean, we do the same with the Democratic.
We do the Democratic Party, exactly.
And the far left. So it really would not be that big of a change,
right?
In that sense.
Well, the Democratic Party used Jim Clyburn to convince the people of South Carolina that they would be better off voting for Joe Biden than they would Bernie Sanders. Why did they do that?
Corporatism. Of course, we know, money. Yeah, corporatism.
Right. And it worked.
And it worked. Yeah. So
it worked.
Here's the thing, Spicy. Like
they use civil rights leaders like Al Sharpton, James Clyburn. They use
to go against.
They don't talk about fucking Jesse Jackson.
Of course.
They don't talk about Fred Hampton.
Of course they don't.
They don't talk about Malcolm X.
Of course
they don't talk about Martin Luther King's opposition to the war in Vietnam or anything else.
We agree, right? We agree. I think the discussion that I want to have is that because a lot of black people they know about the Greens, but they don't work within the Greens. You see what I'm saying? So how do we because you just said they do have a platform for reparations. I think a lot of black Americans will love that and like to work within the Greens. What is the issue of, like, I would say, for lack of a better word, promotion?
One of the things I do have to look up is their plan for reparations, because I want to know exactly what their layout for that is.
Oh yeah, Spicy can answer that. Go ahead, Spicy.
I can answer it. I mean, quite honestly, do you understand? Like, we have, as far as reparations go for Black Americans, I don't know how exactly they would do it, whether it be by DNA or whatever. I actually don't even care. The money is not even a question. The money is there. The money.
We know the money is there.
Like, we know the money.
My thing is, how would they go about? Because it's
I don't know. I don't know when I don't care. I don't know when I don't care, and I hope it happens because it doesn't impact. It's not going to directly impact me. I mean, aside from the fact that it would be a direct injection of major economic value to the American people. If you were to literally give reparations to the descendants of slaves in the United States, you would create so much wealth, not even just in the communities that are receiving the reparations, but across the board. Across the American working class, like this would just only be a good thing.
So I think what we're trying to get to is that when we say ask how they're gonna do it, are they gonna is it gonna be like cash reparations, or like how Bernie Sanders was saying the whole program's bullshit? Is it, or is it gonna be actual cash?
I think it should be both.
I don't know. But but the Green Party actually had a plan, and it wasn't just the first time. I mean, fucking that loser Howie Hawkins, who was the guy in 2016 that nobody knew about. I didn't
know about him back then either.
No, Howie Hawkins was like this weird goober who just showed up. The only reason
I know about Bernie Sanders, though. I was sad I didn't get to vote for him.
Jill Stein was 2016 when they blamed Jill.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Jill Stein back then.
Howie Hawkins was the guy in 2020, and then Jill Stein showed up again in 2024, not because she wanted to, but because if the Green Party did not have a candidate, they would lose ballot access in all of the states that they currently fought years and years and years to have ballot access in. So she had to do it. So when people like AOC, these fake progressives, say, "Oh, Jill Stein only shows up every 4 years," and blah blah blah, that's just wrong. It's wrong, and it's stupid, and it misleads a lot of people. She has no And remember, AOC got famous for her old Green New Deal thing. Where did the Green New Deal come from? That came from the Green Party. She stole that. She stole that. And she doesn't give him credit for it. What happened to the Blue New Deal? Nobody hears about the Blue New Deal. Guess who has one of those? The Green Party.
The Green Party. No, but the two things that I would like to see happen, because I rock with the Greens, right? I have no issue with the Greens. I rock with them. I think I want to see more Greens run on a Democratic ticket, use their resources to get the policies pushed through. I think that's a good strategy. Because the thing is, staying in a third party, I understand staying with integrity and everything like that, right? I'm not beefing with that, right? But because the Green Party does not have the access and not have the resources, I think a Green person should just run on a Democratic ticket, get into those policy positions, get into Congress, get into the state house, the state Senate, get into whatever you need to get into the city councils in order to push those policies through. You know what I'm saying? Because with those tickets, you'll have the...
Now, I do want to talk more about the reparations piece, though.
Who had more money? Who had more money in the 2020 campaign? In the Democratic primary, was it Bernie Sanders or Kamala Harris or Joe Biden? Who had the most money from small dollar donors?
Oh, small dollar donors.
Yeah.
Was it Joe? Wasn't it?
No, Biden? It was Bernie Sanders. It was Bernie Sanders.
It was Bernie Sanders. That's a Joe.
Bernie Sanders dominated. Yeah. He made millions of people giving $5, $10 a month, whatever, to his campaign. You can do that now. Mm-hmm. Give $10 a month to the Green Party. You do it. I do it. You should do it. Tell all your friends.
I agree.
To do it.
No.
We can build a coalition that does not take money from corporate PACs. They don't need to, just like Bernie didn't need to. But the problem with Bernie Sanders,
that's true.
He was a democratic socialist.
Yeah, he's a democratic socialist. So look, I agree with you, but when we look at like, for example, someone that dude over in the white dude over in Texas, I call him the white Obama, James Talarico. There you go, Talarico, right? A lot of his stuff came from small party donors and everything like that. Like he did the exact same thing.
That guy was funded by corporations, bro. He's a fake ass progressive.
Which pack?
But I do want to get into the hold on, because I do want to have this conversation.
He is.
No, I just want to expand because I didn't actually get to finish completely earlier regarding the reparation stuff. I actually didn't get to get into.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead, Kay.
So for example, it would go to we would first need to specify who, right? Because now people we have people like Bosi and his children are now in the country, right? So we would now need to we would now, I'm just using you as an example, Bosi, by the way. So so we now have to be more specific about who would qualify. It would need to be directly to the descendants of American chattel slavery. We would have to specify that. But also, I also think it needs to address the degrees of harm. So even after slavery had been abolished in America, we had things like black codes, Jim Crow, redlining, the war on drugs, there's police brutality, there's medical racism, etc., etc. So all of the degrees of harm from the slave trade up until present all need to be addressed. And that level of harm needs to be all of the levels of harm need to be considered within it. Also, right? I do think it should be a money payout, but but also Volsi and I have talked in the past. We think that there should be trade schools in the public school systems and schools that have been historically redlined, right? So you're Philly and so am I. So there are places in Philly that have that historically were redlined. And I think that there should be trade schools within that school system to out as a way for the children and to be able to, like, take the Black American children to take a trade, and let's say when they leave high school. Also, I'm like similar to the Native American and the indigenous people. I think that there should be free college for Black American children as well. So adding on to that, I think that there are several ways that it needs to happen.
Okay.
But what do you think, Spicy? You agree,
Okay.
like how a reparation should happen? Like all
I
the
feel like
things.
she's getting off topic by asking me that.
No, that's what she wanted to talk about, reparations. Like, I'm just asking
Yeah, well,
if you
how
agree
does
or
that-
just
how
do all
does
the
that-
things.
How does the implementation of reparations affect?
Because that's important.
Okay, but it's not up to me. Again, I presented. Hang on. I presented to you a political party that was offering reparations. I wasn't presenting to you that I'm the man who's going to tell you how they're going to do it. I just told you that there's a party that wants to do it. There's no other party, the Democrats or Republicans, aren't going to do it. And you're asking me for specifics. And again, I'm not the one to give it to you. If you want to look them up, they're there. Moving on.
You sound a little annoyed and rude there, but we're just
I
trying
am
to
a little
clarification.
annoyed. I am a little. I feel like you're changing the conversation on purpose.
We're not changing the conversation, bro. We're not changing the conversation.
I feel like
hold on. Spicy. Slow down for me. All right. So now you said that they offer reparations, right? We understand that.
Oh my
you
God.
don't know. Hold on. Wait. Listen. Just be patient. We understand that you may not know the details. We get it. But what she was bringing up was, okay, these are all the things that we think how reparations should
Why
happen.
is that relevant?
Do you? We're just
compared to the
asking.
two-party system?
We're just asking you. Would
Like,
you
do
agree with that?
believe-
Hold on, Spicy. Give me a
I'll
second.
agree with all of it. I
You
agree with all of it.
All right,
I agree
great,
with
great,
everything you're about to say.
Great,
Everything
great.
you're about to
That's
say.
all we're just
I
asking.
agree
That's all we're
with
just.
everything.
Right, I got you.
All
Notice
great.
how you.
What I want to know.
All right, slow down, Spicy. Hold on, Spicy. Okay, so you agree with all that, but you don't know if the Green Party doesn't have that. You just don't know that part. Cool. That's all we needed to clarify.
Fine.
That's fine. All right, cool. So now, when it comes to the two-party system, right? Yeah, sure. I think a good strategy for the Greens is to start running on Democratic tickets in order to get these policies pushed through, because we see it's succeeding with the DSA, right? Because the reason why I say that is because Democrats have like the brand recognition already. You see what I'm saying? When people look at a ticket and they see Democrat, Republican, Green, they're gonna pick one of Democrats or Republicans because they have such a hold on the two-party system. So I think use that branding to jump on their ticket and get these establishment motherfuckers off the seats. Because guess what? That's what the Tea Party did, and because the Tea Party did that, that's how we got MAGA. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we did. That's what we got to do.
The Tea Party didn't do anything other than just move. They shift the goalposts of the American, the
Overton window. Agreed.
To the right.
No, agreed.
And the Democratic Party followed right along.
They followed exactly.
They did that. The greatest Republican presidents in our history have been Bill Clinton and Barack Obama.
Agreed. We agree, bro.
And if you sit here and think that they're not, you don't understand anything about Republican versus Democratic policy.
Spicy. We agree.
So this idea that we're going to somehow go in and change the Democratic Party by voting for people like AOC, who again has 12 million Twitter followers, took her 3 years to call what's going on in Gaza a genocide. Like, this is the problem. These are not real. These people are not real fighters. They don't care.
Facts. So
they're not going to fight for you.
Hold on, that's what I'm saying. Hold on, listen.
Within the party.
I got you.
Okay,
so I got you.
Party politics and win.
I got you. Okay, so what exactly happens in the meantime? Because the Greens and the DSA, those are better candidates, but no one's is voting for them. Which is what I'm saying that we need to.
Greens.
No, I'm not associating them. What I'm saying is that there are better candidates.
A third party.
I'm saying that these people are better candidates than what we have right now. They're better candidates. So what I want to see more of them win seats, right? But right now, in the meantime, we're so trapped in the two-party system. I think you should still use those platforms in order to push it through until we can have a revolution. What do we do to have the revolution? What do we do to have the revolution?
That's what's wrong.
Okay.
You need to start supporting third parties, but you don't want to do that.
I support third parties. I'm actually part of Florida Socialist Party right now. So what I'm asking is like, how do we get to the revolution?
Who does the Florida Socialist Party?
Let me ask a question. How do we get to a point where we can have this revolution of the third party? How do we get rid of the two-party system? How do we break it? Because we know the corporations have a hold on them. What do we do to break it?
Third party.
Yeah,
by funding the only third party that has ballot access in 40 plus states. What party is that? It's the only party offering reparations. And again, if you want them to be competitive in local elections, in Senate, in state, in federal, in any of these elections, you need to give them money to compete. That's reality.
All right, cool.
That's the reality.
All right, cool. Not a problem. All right, so intellectual, how's it going? Intellectual, are you at least 18? You're probably gonna be my last guest. And did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Oh, was I supposed to disagree with you? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just asking.
I do believe. I do believe leftist policies are better for society, but I do disagree with you in regards to the efficacy of voting. I think that's where we've hit a bit of a mishap.
So okay, cool. So
so y'all can have the conversation.
All right, cool. So let's we can still have the conversation. So the thing is, the reason why I say that we can't get completely out of the voting political system is because the system will still impose itself on us. You see what I'm saying? So like even if we sit back and we don't vote for any city council member, we don't vote for any state senate or state house, we don't vote for senators or house or congressional members, we don't do any of that, they will still pass laws and impose themselves on us. So we have to engage in that system. You don't think that's a fair point?
It's a little nuanced, and if I could just say a few things about that. When you talk at the local level, where we do have more power as individual voters, I think you have a lot to say. I think Zoran Mamdani here in New York City, who I helped elect, as anti-politics, as electoral politics as I am, I did help elect him. I think that's a good example. At the local level, we can have an impact, but when you get to the federal level, where we literally don't vote for president, I think we spin our wheels a lot on these, voting for the third parties that are out there that may or may not have ideas that we agree with. But we all know that the two-party system has a duopoly on electoral power in our system. And I think, just to caveat back to what I'm really talking about, is I think it was Michael Perenni, the great Marxist scholar, who always said, you want to have 1 foot in the ballot box and 1 foot in the streets, right? Like, so, at the local level, I think I would have a lot of agreement with you, like where we can, with the city councils and mayors and different stuff like that, where we actually can get like power and we don't have to worry about being overspent. But, but we also have to be out in the streets, and that means organizing. You're talking about organizing Amazon workers. I'm a union carpenter myself. Organizing workers where they are at their, and where they are politically too, right? So, whatever they want. So, yeah.
No, I 100%. Me, like, for example, I always tell people, even though I do all this, right, and I debate and everything like that, this is not my praxis. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just entertainment and a hobby for me. This is just my hobby.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'm with an organization called Black Men Build, which is a Black radical organization, and we meet up on every month to canvas, to get up with other Black men to talk about their emotional issues, all that.
That's right? Exactly what I'm talking about, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
So I'm would be considered a white person, I guess, and I often wonder where we get the intersectionality. Like, I don't know anything about your group, but it sounds awesome. And like, how do we get more, where it's like, at one level we're dealing with class, right? We're working people, but then like, you have this black men builds is what you said, right? Yeah. So how do we get that integrated more with different groups, right? Like not just white, but like, our Hispanic brothers, our Muslim brothers, our
how do we all work
everyone.
together? Yeah.
Like how do we get more like to, where you're working on something? Yeah, you got me. I'm sorry.
I got you. All right. So it's one of those things where the left needs to figure out, because we're so atomized. There's so many different groups. I think we need to find a way to create what we're doing now is one of those things, because you said you didn't know about my group, and if you have some group, no, that's fine. But if because they're actually in New York, they're in Brooklyn, as a matter of fact.
Beautiful.
The black people is in Brooklyn. So now that you know
nice.
about so now that you know about them, if you have a certain group, you can actually go to them and say, hey, if your guys are doing this, that, and the third, I want to link you with these people, and they have resources to do this, that, and the third. I'm saying, I think that's what we do. We need to all collaborate with each other, create central platforms.
That's it. I'm going to look you guys up as soon as I get off with you. So thank you for that.
No, all good.
Yeah, I'm in Manhattan. So that's awesome.
And I think they're in Brooklyn. All right. So
I'm moving to New York at the end of the year.
Oh, welcome.
Dope. And now the thing is, intellectual. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Right now, when it gets to the federal level, I agree with you that the power gets less. But a lot of times we do actually have access to like what do people call like congressional the districts, because
I've called my district's office a lot.
You're like your congressional members and stuff like that. A lot of times we do have access to them. You know what I mean? Like when I went to, even though it's a friend of mine calls it political Comic-Con, but I went to No Kings here in my area, right? And it's political Comic-Con.
Your friend.
Oh my God.
It's political Comic-Con. It really is. It really is. Now, again, the reason I go is to get connections, right? I want to know who's doing mutual aid, which people are out there. That's why I go.
You.
Yeah,
I hear you.
A Saturday protest is just fun. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah, that's why I go, to see who's doing mutual aid and stuff like that.
At the 92%, I wasn't going to that protest whether or not I was in Florida or not, because Black women are resting.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, like
Black women deserve to rest,
especially after that 2024 election. I'm putting my energy into Black American women and children.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
I'm with you.
All right, so when I went out there, right, I actually did see people who actually do have congressional seats that were there, or who are running for congressional seats. So we have access to these people, right? Like we have the actual access to them. Now, we have more power on the local level. So my question to you would be like, do you think when it comes to the congressional level, is there ways we can talk to these people and flip them, or should we not worry about that and focus like much more of our energy on our locals and not worry about the Congress?
I thank you for the question. I think 100%. I think you're right that we do have access to these members, but we also can see now, right, like with a president who's really taking the idea of being the executive very literally. And he's not the first who's done this. Nixon had similar ideas. The idea that I'm the executive, I'm the CEO of America. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. And it's really sidelined Congress, right? It's even sidelined the Senate to a big degree. And so you go, is it worth us to spend the amount of time and energy in these bigger elections that don't have quite the turnout we get at the local level? Whereas we can, at the local level, I think we have more impact. And then we stay focused on organizing our brothers and sisters where we live, where we work, where we hang out, and we don't worry so much about the political system that's bigger than us. Because if we do that, I think we take care of ourselves, and we get to a point where I just share one quick thing. In 1937, not that long ago, we have very similar things going on right now. We had a Nelson Rockefeller preaching to his billionaire brethren. They weren't billionaires at the point, multimillionaires, but saying, listen, if we don't start doing things better, basically sharing with people, they will end us. And he was very serious about this. We don't have that now is because we're not collectively organized. And that's my point. We can have one foot in the ballot box, like you're saying. I think it's great. And, and if a brother or sister wants to get involved in a congressional election, go for it. You know what I mean? But like, we got to always, where's our real power? I think our real power is always where we work and where we live.
Okay, I agree with that.
And we got to focus on that.
No, I agree with that. That should be much more of our focus. I agree with that because it seems that a lot of people are only worried about politics when the president is going. That's because we made president celebrities essentially.
Exactly.
So I definitely agree with that.
I'm like the only president that I think is a valid celebrity is Obama.
It's Obama, yeah, true.
And Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle. Well,
she's not a politician, but she's still a celebrity. Yeah. But when it comes to
she's not a politician.
Yeah.
She should be, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. But I was thinking about a U.S. representative. That was my thing. I was like, okay,
I got you.
Yeah, so we do have access to some of these people.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, if you and I we're working together, like, I got involved with, working with you guys in the Brooklyn chapter and stuff. And you were like, as a brother, just like, hey, I'm going to get involved in this, race. I would take that by a case basis, right? Like, do you need my help? Like, you really want my help? I'll help you. I might not think it's the most worthwhile thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, so I just want to be clear. I'm trying to not to be like this is always bad and this is always good, but like,
I understand,
like working together with each other and saying, hey, does this make sense to spend our time doing this? And you might convince me. You might be like, you know what, this congressional thing, this guy might be able to or this gal, whatever, whoever it is might be able to flip something down the road, and I'd be more than happy to listen to you. Like, I'm not like a black and white person in that regard, but like, I think that takes the community, right?
Yeah,
and then now we're having a discussion like we're having right now, which is beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And going, hey,
100%.
if you convinced me that it was worthwhile to, get a judge elected, I mean, I'm with you. I'm a guy. I've been out there on many picket lines, and I've helped elect people, and I'm always down to help.
Yeah, of course.
But
yeah, so that's what I mean. It's all hands on deck, because like, I think we should have people that are focused on like the communities, going out there, canvassing, seeing what people need, helping people out, political education, stuff like that. Go out there and do that. And then when we have a group of people focused on, all right, who's going for sheriff, who's going for judge, who's going for our state house, who's going for our state senate, the state senate seat, who's in the school council, who's in the school board. All right, I know this person was a teacher and everything like that, and they have good political ideas. Let's get them on the school board. I know this young person who went to law school and they're a civil rights lawyer. Let's try to get them as a commissioner for this city. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of streamline it that way. And then when it comes to the higher things like a U.S. representative, your Senate, governor, and stuff like that, these things, the reason why I say that there should still be some focus on that, because they still matter. Like, I'm in Florida, right? So like Ron DeSantis, he did a whole thing. So
thank you for that. That was fun.
So,
I can't believe I never thought of that. I like that. Thank you.
All good. So DeSantis, right? What he did was he passed recently the whole anti-woke bill. You see what I'm saying? Which shows
not Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musty, and I call him Elon Apartheid. But when it comes to these folks, right? That's why I'm like, governor and stuff like that is accurate. It is accurate. Yeah, it is accurate. So when it comes to these things, right? Those folks are.
But let me give you something to think about, though. Like the reason I shared that thing about Nelson Rockefeller. Nelson Rockefeller, one of the richest people in the United States at the time. This is 1937. And he's preaching to Standard Oil executives like, listen, we gotta start giving back. We gotta start sharing. We gotta start being better, at what we're doing, which was it was awful. It wasn't because, I think it's a very important point. It wasn't because leftists had gotten a lot of people elected. either in the United States or around the world. What had happened, like leftists in Mexico had actually taken over the country, and it was the early 10s, 20s. You know, they had a revolution, and they eventually nationalized the oil. Right, that oil that Standard Oil thought they owned, and Mexico was like, no, this belongs to the Mexican people. And Nelson Rockefeller was like, look, guys, this could all end very quickly if we don't, start putting in schools and hospitals and doing better by the people that we're basically stealing from. And it wasn't because of who we'd elected, but it was, if you look, whether it was in Mexico, lots of stuff going on in South America, definitely in the Middle East, it was always like working class people organizing at the local level. And they may or may not have been involved in the kind of politics you're talking about, which I think, like, again, if it makes sense, like, I'm with you 100%. I'd never be like, I would never help you in an electoral election. But when we look at history, I think it's really important that they do get scared when we organize at the local level. You look at Dr. King, it was fine when he was just focused on black folks. The higher ups were not too concerned with him. But when he did the Poor People's March, we get him assassinated, right? Like,
Poor People's March, being against the Vietnam War, unionizing garbage workers.
Many things.
That's when they killed him.
And they killed him. And and it's a good lesson in, I think Iran's given us a good lesson in that. Like, you can create a system, and the Iranian people have apparently done this. We've never seen this before, where they've been attacked by the world superpower. Their entire leadership has been wiped out, and they continue to fight without any kind of gaps, right? And you're wow, how did you do that? Like, that's the type of political organization. Whatever Iranians did, and there's a name for what, the system they created, but they've been working on this for decades. And I think as leftists in the United States, I think that's a very good, not to say we adapt their religious views or their philosophical views so much, but like, they were up against a formidable foe, and they look at them. I mean, it's kind of,
they won.
It's kind of amazing. And
they won.
They've done this with their political.
No,
they've won.
You're lying. They won. Like, hey, y'all, I say this. Yeah, I'll be saying this, and people don't believe me, man. Iran won, y'all. Iran won because Trump didn't get a damn thing.
Oh yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah,
the regime is still there. The regime is still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not only that, they know they can control the Strait of Hormuz now. They know they can control it, and not only that, Trump has to renegotiate a deal that Obama already had. And the deal is going to be even worse than what Obama had, because they got to pay them back $300 billion. We lost.
Way worse.
America lost in Iran.
Way worse.
America lost in Iran. America lost.
Yeah. But
so
it's good to point out, like, when we say America lost, it's not you and me. It's the assholes that we've been talking about organizing against in the first place.
Facts.
Right? Like, we have more in common with the common people of Iran than we do with Elon Musk and these guys trying to make AI everything. And these people, like I said, what's fascinating about it is, right, but they've created this, like, should not go unstudied. They created a political system that is not just the IRGC, it's many different institutions throughout Iranian society that you can kill the first guy, the second guy, I shouldn't say guy, but the first 3, 4, 5, doesn't matter. Someone else will come take their place. And I think, if the Black Panthers had that, if any of these other political organizations we've had in the West had that, we wouldn't be where we are today, because it was very easy for them to come in and murder the Black Panther leadership, or to put the the American Indian movement leadership, into prison or murder them.
That's a lot.
Hey, but if you have a system like the Iranians have created,
I'm sorry. I do gotta get out of here. No, I'm past 2 hours, but I do gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Sorry.
Listen,
anyway, pleasure, I'm glad I didn't get banned this time. But this was my makeup from Monday, and I thought this beat deserved to be appreciated.
Oh yeah, it
Well,
looks
thank
good.
you.
Looks really good. Hey, Intellect, drop me a follow, and then when I get off of here, I'm gonna follow you back.
Thank you.
Because we definitely got to talk more about organizing and everything like that.
I'll follow you too,
Definitely.
intellectual.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna
I'm actually, because I'm moving to New York
Thank you.
in the
Appreciate it.
at the end of the year,
No
so
problem.
it's going to be good to know other people outside of my sister in New York anyway.
Yeah,
So.
definitely.
Please reach out to me. I'd love to be a friend in the city for you. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Outside
You too,
of
brother.
my
Thank you.
sister, I'm like outside my sister and my other friend from TikTok, Shemaine.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so okay, I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta finish my steps. I'm trying to hit 7,000 a day, so I'm only at 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and start walking when I get out of here. All right, but definitely appreciate you.
My love.
Yeah, of course. I will. She's been writing freestyles for a while. I don't know if you follow her, but she writes freestyles and raps all the time.
You know where I don't know if I never came across her account. But one thing I should have been. I should have been following her after I dragged that Caucasoid and the Degenerate Legion. I'm like, no tooth having, menthol smoking ass bitch that I dragged on her behalf. Because nothing makes my ass shit more. I'm looking at a trailer trash park white bitch talking about black women.
Listen, boy, I had to redo that video 5 times because I was cussing her out so much. I said, let me calm down and let me not come off, any type of way. Let me calm down and do this video again because I was cussing her the hell out. I'll tell you that much. I'm like, this is not gonna get approved if I put this out. But, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Okay, but listen, I do appreciate you. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being part of it. And take care, all right?
See, notice how anytime notice because it's not showing anything below the neck, like I said, if you get flagged. Notice that?
I noticed.
I told you that's what it is. I told you that's exactly what it is. God forbid I have a little bit of cleavage, bitch. I'm a woman, bitch. I'm going to have cleavage.
Exactly.
Damn it.
All right. Okay. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being part of it. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all have a good night. Always remember, be secure, be affectionate, be wise, be flexible, be trustworthy, be soft. All right. Thank y'all so much.